Hello, America and curling fans from Canada to Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, with the latest draw from the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. It's the 5 and under Bonspiel coming to you live from Curl Vegas on the curling.gg network. Our featured draw tonight will showcase Full House from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling taking on, and Wine Country, pardon me, taking on In and Out turns from OC Curling and Wine Country Curling. This is a cards pool play. We have 3 pools named Dice, Cards, and Slots. This is the cards pool. As the first rock is away, it looks to be a smidge on the heavy side, as that's going to go through the rings out of play. And by red throwing the first stone, it means that a yellow Full House will have the hammer this first end. As we see Nancy Augustine get set in the hack for her first throw. So we have a good game on tap. We have all 4 sheets in action this draw. We'll let you know what's happening on all the sheets in just a moment and throughout the night. If you want to find it out yourself, you can go to bondspieler.com and check it out. Nancy's rock looks to be a little on the light side, but I think did it get over the line? It did not. It was a hot stone. So that's a $1 for the hog jar. We do a drawing for burned rocks and hogged rocks. Just a little fun way to, maybe mitigate some of the down feeling from missing a shot that way. As we have Zachary Hayden throw his second rock. So we've had 2 misses to start the game. Let's see if this one's going to be on target for Skip Stephanie Trudeau. This one looks to be a much better weight. Ends up as a corner guard on the left side. So it looks like Nancy is being asked to draw around with her second stone. This is a little on the light side again, but this is going to get over the hog line. If it gets around the hog line, something weird's going on. All right, so while they're getting set for the second stone, or the second rocks, the second for Full House is Russell Okino. That doesn't look like Russell, though. Oh, this is Catherine Nielsen, pardon me. Catherine Nielsen for In and Out turns. All right. Russell Aquino is the second for Full House. All right. So letting you guys know what's happening on the other sheets. Again, all these scores and links to the streaming video are being posted to bondspieler.com. On sheet 4, we have the Vegas Winers from Curl Vegas and Wine Country taking on Coyote Wild from Coyotes. It's a dice pool game. On sheet 2, for 2 of Hearts, we have the Sandstorm Sweepers from Vegas, Curl Vegas, taking on Team Bushkoff from Milwaukee. Sheet 3 is our feature game. You're watching it. I'm curious about, I thought Nancy already threw her 2 stones. Oh, Ben was the lead for, maybe Ben was the lead. I'm confused. I'm confused. But they're drawing around. This looks to be more successful. Going to settle in behind the guard, just off the center line. And then our sheet 4 game for 4 diamonds is Orange Coyote from OC Curling and Coyotes taking on Team Rice from Coyotes. And Team Rice is saying that might be a bit of a fun game to watch, just because they tend to get into pretty hard-hitting games. So we're going to see next rock coming for in and out turns with Catherine. This is coming up a little light, but you can see it finish pretty nicely. I think they would have rather have gotten around that yellow in the rings. So skip for full house is Michaela Stransky. I wonder if full house is playing with 3 right now, because this looks to be Russell Aquino. And looking to draw down through the port, I believe. That's over curling, so it looks like it's going to go in the pile, and Michaela just kind of waved him off, it looks like. So looking at the situation in the house, looks like in and out turns is going to try to draw around the center stones with Mike Reagan's first, I believe. So it does appear that full house is playing with 3. So full house doesn't have a full house. The rock is probably going to, it seems likely to overcurl. They're working to hold the line. It's going to be close. It does chip off the guard, rolls wide into the gap. So line looked okay, just maybe a little bit more weight, and it would have been past those center stones fairly clearly, or with room to spare. So we're going to see full house try to draw on this right side. So teams play based on, well, teams are here based on their years of experience, 5 years or less or under, hence the name 5 under. So based on experience, full house has 13 years total, and in and out turns has 9 years total. So definitely, these are among the newer teams in the field. In fact, in and out turns has the least amount of experience of any of the 15 teams in this tournament. That's not to say that they're not good players. It's just kind of noting their on the ice experience, and even then, that's just calendar days of experience, not necessarily how many games or how many reps they have. Some teams have a lot of ice availability. Some teams are only able to get on the ice, a couple months a year. So it's interesting just to see how this shakes down as we have Mike's second rock trying to draw that right side. Again, ice is maybe a little slow for both teams to start. And this line looks okay. It's over curling. And we've seen, I wouldn't quite call it a fall. We definitely just see like an accentuated curl from this sidewalk on the right side of the screen here. It's not a fall necessarily because it seems to curl naturally. It's just a tendency perhaps. So that was 1380, and so ice is kind of slow. They did do a full scrape after the last draw before the start of this one, and so it might take a little while for the ice to get broken in. And this is coming up light as well. I didn't time this one, but it's light. So full house with the hammer is sitting 2. In and out turns is trying to find a way in. They can raise that red up, and I think that's what they're looking at. I had food, so I have a little bit more energy. It's a very messy front of the house. We call it a Christmas tree in curling parlance. I like to call it like a Rocky Gibraltar, or some other colorful terms. A rock belt, Rocky's belt. Thinking of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I don't think the squirrel actually had a belt. It had some aviator goggles, which I guess had a strap. For all those older people out there that remember the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon, or the CGI movie from the early 2000s, which I never saw. So the broom's down for Stephanie Trudeau. It's a bit of a pickle, but they're looking to raise the red, as I thought it seemed to be their likeliest shot. Not looking for a lot of ice, though. I'm curious about how much energy or weight she's going to throw at it. Calling it hard, I think, out of hand. It's not curling up, actually. And actually it worked, though. Has some pinball action. It struck the left outside guard and then redirected back onto the red, onto the yellow. It's shot. Hard, I think, out of hand. It's not curling up, actually. And actually it worked, though. That was a crazy shot. 4 in and out turns. So it looks like Michaela Stransky is going to try to double those reds out. The top red onto the red in the house, get them both moving out of play. So the broom is down for Stransky. May have floated out a little wide on the release. Looks like it might hit the outside red on the outside, and it kicks the red on top of the shot red and goes through the house out of play. So not a bad outcome. So right now red is shot. They don't have the hammer. So the question is, what do they do to try to secure their advantage? And so I'm going to guess they're going to put up a guard. And that's great if they're able to make the shot. This is kind of a tricky situation because ideally, like, you would perfectly execute the guard and it would block the run back or the takeout. So then, you're basically hopefully going to score 1, steal 1. But if you're not on target, then you're kind of sunk. Because if you're not on target, then the other team can just hit your stone out and they'd be scoring 2. So that's kind of the risk-reward consideration. So her shot's away. I think they're looking to tap. And actually, that's kind of the possibility that I was thinking they might do. Or they could be trying to curl around. This is a bit tricky. Their sweepers are not on it. And slowing down. It's going to tap the red a little bit. And depending on how close those two stones are together, that's a possible miss, but it's also possibly a good shot. Because if they're corner frozen, if they're kind of welded onto each other, which I don't think they are, I think there's a little bit of separation. If there's no separation, they're frozen together, then it's going to be really hard to get both of those stones moving with one shot. However, if there's a little bit of separation, then a well-placed stone with enough speed and chutzpah can get both of those reds moving, and then Team Full House could score that 2 that way. So Michaela is in the hack, ready for some takeout magic with her last rock here in the first end. So this is hanging out. Is it going to make contact? It will make contact, but is it going to be enough? And it looks like it will be enough to get rid of one of the red's counting stones. But ultimately, it is going to be a steal of 1 for in and out turns. But Full House will take the hammer into the second end, which we'll have when we come back to the 2026 5 and Under Bonspiel, coming to you live from Curl Vegas on the curling.gg network. Coverage of this event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Throughout the competitive curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the site with the latest stats and information about the top men's and women's teams from around the world. See how your team ranks against the competition at doubletakeout.com. And by curling.gg, a proud sponsor of Canada's mixed doubles team, Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. And by Endgame Curling, elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. All right, rocks in play. We're underway here in the second end as we see Zachary Hayden throw out the first stone of the end. And that's going to slip into the rings. So we see a Nancy Augustine get set for her first rock. Nancy hails from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling and Wine Country, I believe. Some of these players play at multiple clubs. I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not quite sure if she plays for both clubs. But Lake Tahoe Epic Curling is a fun club to visit if you have a chance, as is Wine Country. I personally have not had a bad experience at any of the clubs in our region. I know some clubs may not be in the best neighborhood, and that's been a concern. But generally, I think everyone's done their best to make the best of a situation like that. But that's not been the concern for Lake Tahoe or Wine Country, which is just outside of Sacramento. So we have 2 rocks in the rings. And Zachary is going to try to draw around the red on the right, I believe. Needs to curl up a decent amount, otherwise it's going to be a corner guard. Looks like it's going to slip into the top rings on the right side. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Offering a unique way to view the top men's, women's, and mixed doubles teams from around the world, including being able to sort by country. So if you're a fan of the U.S. teams on the men's side, you can see how Team Schuster stacks up against Team Casper and Team Abear. And the Young Bucks. More information at doubletakeout.com. So looking for, I think, a little bit of takeout action from Nancy's second stone here. Looks like it's going to hit and then roll under. And it looks like it did make a good roll undercover. We can look at the head-on view, and we can see that that yellow is really well buried, but it's close to the red stone in the top 12, so it's possible for in and out turns to promote that, or raise the red, so like a raised takeout hit. Nielsen is getting set for that raise. Might be a little tight, so maybe look for a plan B on hitting the yellow that was to the left of the red rock. And indeed, that is what happens. Good takeout there from Catherine. Nancy's third shot, as Full House is playing with just a trio tonight. Looking to draw around, I believe. It's looking pretty good. Oh, they're looking to put up a guard, and it did an okay job guarding about 10% of the rock. I definitely think that Trudeau and in and out turns could get to that red if they wanted to. They could also peel the guard. They don't have the hammer, so they could also. I would think about drawing down now maybe, and just kind of further securing the front of the house. But I don't know how effective that would be, and Full House could counter. Catherine's second stone is going for a hit on down the middle. It definitely moves the rocks around, and one of the rocks like just jumped over to the other sheet. So yellow is still shot, and in and out turns has two reds on the 8-foot and into the 12-foot circles. So, Full House has the hammer. They're down one. As Russell delivers his shot. Looks like it went a little wide. Let's see if it's on target. Doesn't look too bad. And actually, you can see how it finishes. It's actually going to curl right in front of that red on the left side. So, interesting situation. I think if in and out turns can have a good line, like a good read on the line they need, like raising the red onto the yellow is a possibility. They can also draw around. There's a lot of center stones. So if they draw around on the right side, that's also a possibility. Stephanie's also suggesting maybe going through a port down the middle. And that port does appear to be there. As Mike gets set for his first rock of this second end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. This event is not being timed. We do have a policy to encourage speedy play and kind of rules to encourage speedy play, including if teams are lollygagging, they first get a warning, and if there is continued lollygagging, the offending team would be kind of supervised, and then if it continues after being supervised and individually timed, then we start pulling rocks. So not overly strict. I mean, you get basically 2 warnings before we start tracking down on it. Before we really start tracking down on it. So the broom is down for Russell. And it looks like they're going to try and draw through the port that might try to go through. Mike's was a little short. This has got better weight. And then they want to try to see the finish. And it's going to go to the back line, out of play. Sorry. I was watching the wrong string, guys. I apologize. So that was a good line. Weight was good too. Well, the weight was okay. It was heavy. So now Stephanie's looking at raising the red onto the yellow. And if they can make the shot, they would be sitting 2 or 3, maybe 4, if the shooter sticks around. So that's going to be an interesting possibility as Mike gets set. Looking for the red-yellow rays on the left side from this view. Looks like it's over curling. So they're working to hold the line, but I think it's going to crash. Oh. It did crash on the guard, and it redirected red onto yellow, so they did get what they needed, but not the energy that they really needed. It pushed the yellow to the back 8 foot, and it appears to be shot well buried. And so both teams are going to be trying to figure out how to get into the 8 foot to store. And that yellow in the back is kind of setting the size of the storing area for this end. As we have Russell deliver for his second shot, I believe, or is this is his last, I believe, actually. So trying to hit and roll, but this is it got taken out of play. I guess it fell out of bounds. So for in and out turns, they have the raise possibility on the left, but I think it's just to primarily raise into scoring position. I don't think they are going to. They could, but I don't think they really see a lot of benefit to raising that red onto the yellow in the back 8 foot. Although it's nice to have backing, and if they get lucky, they could be sitting 3, maybe 4. So that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to raise the red into the 8 foot for storing. I don't think they need to let in go to the yellow, but they do have that as a option. This is Stephanie Trudeau's first. Looking for the tap back. Probably looking for back 8 to back line weight. Line's looking decent. 1353, so the weight's okay. It's over curling now, so maybe go for a plan B to get into the rings. And it does hit and roll in. I don't know if it's shot. It looks like it could be. So for full house, looking at a possible double, I'm curious to know who shot is. So they're kind of taking a look at the different shots. They could try to do the draw on the right side, and they just basically need full 8 foot to be at least hitting one yellow. Interesting situation. They're looking at, I don't know why they're playing on those reds. Unless they're thinking about trying to like force open that side of the ice, and then maybe also make sure that that yellow in the back is counting. That's a interesting shot approach. I don't know if I agree with it or not. It definitely doesn't seem like an immediate payoff with that though. Although again, I guess if they successfully remove those reds, then the immediate payoff would be that yellow in the back is counting. But then all in and out turns has to do is draw on top of that yellow in the back, and then they're out counting it. So, but then of course it would force in and out turns to make a good play, and then full house would have to respond with an equally good play, as this is the first rock for Stransky with the hammer here in the second hand, looking to move some granite. It looks like we're going to see at least one red go away, and that's all. So that should be, I mean, it could have been a setup shot too. So in and out turns is looking to, I think, just kind of close the door on that left side to prevent Michaela from doing a run back takeout on that left side, and then kind of force Michaela to draw on the right side of the sheet. As Trudeau talks things over with her front end. And we're off. So they don't want to tap the yellow. I guess they could tap the red up a little bit as an option, and it just wicks off of the yellow, and the shooter's going to roll to the back 12, where it's going to be like 4th or 5th shot. So now the situation in the house is even messier than before, as I don't know who was shot. Second base. Look, who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third base. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, ask your grandparents or the spirits of your grandparents. That routine is still very funny, even after 80 plus years, I think. So Last route coming from Michaela. Looking to make that play on the yellow on the wings. This is over curling though, so looking for plan B, I believe. And it's just going to go into the pile of rocks. Jostle things around, but I don't know if it impacts the house. Oh. So it did squirt one of the yellows to the side. But I don't think it was enough to change the outcome of the end. So that appears to be a steal of 1 again for team in and out turns. So pausing the action. We'll be right back as we continue with our 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. And we are back, rocks in play. We're underway here in the third end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. I think I was explaining earlier that teams are going to try to play 8 ends. 7 to 8 ends is ideal. The minimum is 6 for this event because we have a point differential as a tiebreaker. Not necessarily, people aren't necessarily fans of point differentials as a tiebreaker just because we don't want teams to run up the score on other teams, especially against newer teams like the field that you see here this weekend. But that was kind of our rule for this weekend. We'll evaluate it and see what we're going to do next time. We're always learning, just like I think a lot of people on the ice. That's also one of the secrets of life, is always to be learning. The more you know. So Zachary drew in, and Nancy responded with a takeout. And there's 1 yellow in the rings right now. The score is 2-0 in favor of in and out turns. As we have Zachary get set for his net stone. And I think just looking to draw on top. Actually, no, this is going to be... No, I think it's going to be on top. Going for the takeout, actually. And this is going to be close. You're going to see contact, and then the shooter's going to stick around as a nose hit. So we're just playing the hits this draw. While they are talking about this shot, just a quick note that this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg has partnered with Jamie Sinclair with the Curl Up with Jamie channel on YouTube to offer a new venue for curling insight. There's a better language than that. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so curling.gg is growing fast and is partnered with Jamie Sinclair from the Curl Up with Jamie channel to bring more curling insight to fans everywhere. There we go. Curling.gg. And curling.gg is our broadcast sponsor for this tournament, and we definitely appreciate their support and the support of all of our sponsors. So in the rings right now, we have 1 full house yellow, and it looks like Catherine Nielsen is being asked to draw to it. I do like their palm trees in their sleeves. That's always kind of a nice touch. Catherine's shot is headed down the ice. Working to push over. I don't think it's going to come back though. It was pretty heavy for the shot, which if they were going for a takeout, that made sense. But it was a little wide. Well, it was way inside, and goes through the house and through the rings unimpeded, and so that yellow is still shot. So going around the rings, lots of action so far in this game, or in all the games. Not super high scoring on most of the sheets. As on sheet 1, we have the Texas Winers starting with the hammer. They're from Curl Vegas and Wine Country. They haven't scored yet. Basically, Coyote Wild from Coyote stole the first 2 ends with a single each end. They're up 2-0. Sheet 2 is a close battle. It's a 1 point for each team. Sandstorm Sweepers from Coyote stole the first end, and then Bushkoff from Milwaukee was held to a single in the second. All square at 1 after 2. Sheet 3 is our feature game. You're watching it. In and Out Turns. In and Out Turns said they had a hammer. No, I don't think that's the case. Full House had the hammer. And they've been held scoreless as In and Out Turns still a single in each of the first 2 ends. They're up 2-0. And on sheet 4, we have Orange Coyote from Coyotes and Orange County going up against Rice from Coyotes. And this shot from Full House, actually this is In and Out Turns shot, tried to draw on top of the shot stone, ends up just tapping and rolling wide. So that is open for Full House to take out if they can make the shot. I can tell you more about the sheet 4 score if someone would move on the ice. I can't see the scoreboard. But it looks like it's pretty solidly maybe Rice. And their logo is a curling stone that's open and is like an Ochawan of rice. Ochawan being the rice bowls that they have in Japan. Could be a different type of serving bowl, but I call them Ochawans. So this is hanging out wide. So the takeout attempt was made, but not, well, it was attempted but not made. And so now momentum shifts slightly toward In and Out Turns. They are able to make the hit. So on sheet 4, the scoring is favoring Rice. The Bonspiel is not correct. I'll see if I can get that updated. So as we see Mike get set to try the takeouts. So this is close to over curling, but they might get a little lucky. And I don't think they're going to get lucky. They did not get lucky. They hit their own red, and that red that got hit goes through the rings out of play. So to finish the thread on the scores on sheet 4, Rice scored 2 in the first end, and they stole 3 in the second, so they're currently at 5-0 against the defending champions, Orange Coyote. As we see Russell's Nets Rock going to try the takeout again, and ideally we'll see him make the shot this time. Because if you give a curler the same shot twice, the odds of them making it the second time are much, much higher. As it is here, they do get the red moving. It kind of caroms off of the yellow, but the yellow sticks around and the red just bounces through the house with bouncy fun out of play. All scores are being posted to Bonspieler, and the video links are also included on the Bonspieler link. So if you are interested to see what's happening elsewhere, you know, we got options. That's one of the nice things about being at a club like Curl Vegas. It has cameras on every sheet. I like to be able to kind of switch between the cameras that MoPac has, but it's nice to have different chances to check out curling in various forms. As this next rock from Mike, not going to go for the hit, going to go for the draw. And that was a pretty nice draw there from Mike. So it looks like Russell's being asked to draw down on top of that red that was just put into play. Working to hold the line. It looks like it's going to curl into the pile, or curl into the yellow. Actually, it's a little light all around. It's not going to reach the house. So right now, looks like shot belongs to in and out turn, seeing that there's like a white circle that kind of sets the forefoot, and it looks like it's hard to say. I thought in and out turns is solidly on the white circle, but there's a possibility of yellow kind of at 1 o'clock where it might also be biting the circle, but I don't think it's as much as in and out turns. And so I think they're in and out turns and Stephanie are going to make it more academic, where they're just going to get rid of that yellow that's on that right side of the house. As Stephanie pushes out from the hatch. Looking for the takeout. This is going to be looking pretty good. Going to hit. It's going to roll, and it's actually going to hit their own red. So Mike was happy about it, saying, "Sorry, I get excited." They lost one of the reds though, so it opens things up. But this is a dangerous situation now for in and out turns. If I can get a better look at the house, there's definitely one yellow in the rings. It looks like it's, that red is out counting it, but there also might be a red in the back 12 foot if that's holding on to the rings. So Michaela is looking to just pop that red out and sits 2, maybe 3. And that red is pretty open, as we can see from this head-on view. And now that we can see the back of the house, that yellow is not counting. It appears. I would be surprised if it does, but it's always in the realm of possibility. Stransky talks things over with Nancy. Again, full house appears to be playing with 3 for this draw. So looking for a takeout. Want to make sure that it doesn't over curl. And And this is looking maybe a little tight. Actually, it's not looking too bad. So it's around the high guard, but it actually takes the yellow in the rings and pushes it to the button open. And so score that as a miss, unfortunately, as now in and out curls to make a play on that shot yellow. It's now shot, so that's a positive thing. The downside is that it's exposed. So in and out curls will be best served by getting rid of it. Ideally sitting two, but definitely I think they want to make sure the shooter sits around to be counting first or second. They don't want the shooter to roll away, because if the shooter rolls away, then Michaela could hit the red that's also exposed. And if they hit the red that's also exposed, then yellow can score multiple points. So that's kind of the scenario right now for both teams. As Stephanie's last shot is away, looking for the takeout. Needs to make sure it doesn't over curl. This is looking pretty good. They also want to make sure the shooter sticks around. The shooter is not going to stick around. It rolls across the house out of play. And so now Stransky has a chance for two. If she's able to, I mean, she has to make it, like, she could draw for one. But why would you do that when you can score two? Also, she just threw a similar rock down this area before. So if she throws the hit again and sits around, she's scoring two. Thus say I. MoPac After Dark's at 8, so I get even weirder in a couple hours. Although weird is relative. So the broom is down for the takeout. As Stransky gets set, facing one with a chance for two. She's getting set. And we are away with the last rock here in the third end, the hammer. This is looking pretty good. Needs to make sure it doesn't crash on the guard. It's not. So Russell's coming out to help to make sure that red goes back far enough. Is it going to go back far enough? No, it doesn't. It's just a single point for full house. But they are on the board. Down 2-1 against In and Out Turns. In and Out Turns will have the hammer for the first time when we come back to the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. We are back as we see Nancy's first rock head down the ice. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by, one second. We're going to try again with the promotional animation. Coverage of this endgame curling. Hey, it worked. Elevate your game with endgame curling. Endgame's carbon fiber, 100% carbon fiber brooms feature either a 7.5-inch or 9-inch head. Endgame's no-slip silicone drip sleeve gives you unparalleled connection to your broom, and Endgame's unique 3-piece travel handle makes traveling for curling easy. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So back to the action here where we see Nancy's nets rock head down the ice. She's not happy with that shot. I think they were trying to try for a takeout. And no, it's not a takeout. Oh, she wanted to draw around maybe. She wasn't happy with maybe the line or something perhaps. It's understandable. Sometimes curlers are their own harshest critics. So Zachary is being asked to draw, I think, on top of the yellows, or maybe draw around those yellows. Draw around those yellows, I believe. This weight looks a little up. So it goes to the back of the house, and Michaela's going to make sure it goes away entirely. And it's going to hit the brakes right on the back 12 foot. So it will stick around to be third shot. Nancy's next rock. I think looking to put another one on top of the yellows, or along the center line, perhaps. All part of trying to establish control of the front and center of the scoring area without the hammer. And this will settle in. Looks like just above the tee line in the top 4 foot. So looking for takeout weights, control takeout weight for Nielsen's first rock, I believe. As she crouches down to get ready to deliver. Looking for a control weight takeout. This should be about 11 seconds hog to hog, I believe. And it does hit the yellow. The shooter's also going to roll wide to the left side of the sheet, or the right, now the left. That's going to be good for shot on the left side of the house in the 8-foot ring. So Russell's turn to draw and I think tap out that yellow is just put up. For the takeout, they want to control weight. I got like 8 seconds, 8:13. This is a little on the heavy side, but they might make contact with one of the stones. Nope. It's going to go through the gap out of play. So it was close. I just need another rock and a half a curl. So definitely appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. Just to let everyone know, we have MoPac After Dark starting at 8 p.m., so just 2 hours from now. And our MoPac After Dark game will be Team Tanner from Oval Curling taking on Team Hernandez from OC Curling and Curl Vegas. And that will cap off our Friday quintuple header of 5 games. That's fun to say 5 times fast. And then Saturday we have a quadruple header with draw times at 8, 11, 2:30, and 5:30, all time specific. And that hit was successful as it kind of dislodges one of the yellows off the center, and that yellow sticks around though. The shooter also sticks around. Shot looks to be red. That yellow though is pretty close to being shot. So looking for another attempt on that red on the left, I believe, from Russell. And this rock, so I thought they were going for the takeout. They're going for the draw. This is going to wick off the red in the top 8 foot and then spin back to the back 8 foot without touching any other rock. So, In and Out Turns has the hammer. I think Stephanie's looking to see what to do to kind of capitalize on the situation in the rings. It's not, there's a lot of both teams' rocks in the circle, and the center is still pretty open and accessible. So, looks like Stephanie's looking to draw around the center stones with Mike's first rock. So this, if the ice is at speed, it should be about 1450 hog to hog, 14 and a half seconds. This looks like it's tight on the front stones though, as it does tap the red and redirects towards the right from this view. So it looks like red is sitting 2 where the shot stone is exposed, but there's some jam possibilities if they were to try to do a takeout. So you need to hit it very carefully. And so it looks like they want to hit it on the outside from this view. And Okino delivers his last rock of this end. Looking for a little takeout, I believe. Oh, this is going to be more of a draw. So they're working to hold the line. Just a little light, though. The line was pretty good. Could have been just a smidge tighter, but, you know, a little bit more weight, but a very solid effort there from Russell. So sitting 2, Mike is being asked to, I think, put a front stone up in front of the shot rock. It's going to be hard to run that yellow that was just put up onto the shot rock just because the angles don't work out. sweepers are trying to coax it as far as it'll go. And that is a guard. Or I call it like a front stone because it could slip into the rings and it protects the shot that they're looking to protect, but not technically a guard. So a front stone. Very messy house. Curious about what they're going to do here. Looks like they're going to try the takeout again. So it's trying to soft weight takeout. Control weights are slightly down from control. And then you know, pop out that yellow, pop out that red, and be sitting 2, maybe 1. But it's better than being in a steal position. Well, I mean, ideally they're in a steal position, but it's better than in a position where they're giving up multiple points. Last rock coming from Michaela Stransky, looking to bop out that red shot rock. You need to make sure it doesn't curl. I mean, it doesn't over curl. Past the guard. Runs the red back onto the yellow, so jam, but the shooter rolls to the button. So ultimately a great shot there from Michaela. And how does in and out turns respond to that? I don't know how they could. They have a very tricky raise that I think is their likely shot. I don't necessarily think it has the highest odds of making it, but some odds is better than no odds. Looks like they're dialing up the raise. I don't know if the angles are there though. It could be there. So the broom is down and Stephanie's shot is away. Facing 1, looking for the raise. This is close. Red, slight deflection, and it deflects the red onto the yellow, pushes it back. Is it enough for a shot? And I think it is. So it's not the hammer. I think each tip has 1 more stone. But it's exciting to pretend it was the last shot. So now what does Stransky and Full House do? They're talking it over. Let's see if we can I don't know if we can hear them necessarily. Let's see if we can.
I did. I was told to of the point.
All right, we tried. I couldn't quite hear them. The broom is down. I mean, it sounds like we could hear like a little buzzing, but nothing I can make out. So, one of these days. One of these days. So the score right now is 2-1 in favor of in and out turns. As the broom is down for Stransky. I think looking to just draw and maybe prevent in and out turns from having a tap back for 2. That might be the call here. I think it's really hard for them to get shot off of this. Ooh, that was a bit of a disaster, unfortunately. So it ran the yellow onto red onto yellow. Ooh, that was a bit of a disaster, unfortunately. So it ran the... So red, yellow, red. And so now team in and out turns, I think just has a draw for 2. Because that yellow on the left seems to be out counting a lot of stones. So the broom is down. Stephanie talked over the shot with her front end and asking for like a little more ice, I believe. We are off. She came out really wide. Let's see if the stones stay on target as they're trying to coax it over. It's also possible they could try to hit the yellow. Needs a little help to make sure it's almost biting the forefoot for the second point. And it looks like it's so close. Is it going to get there? It does get there for what I believe is the second point. So they are kicking the stones. So let's call it 2 for team in and out turns. Pause in the action. We'll be back for the 5th end when we come back to the 2026 MoPac 5 and under Bonspiel on the curling.gg network.
can you add?
Yeah, I think I can add.
Okay, then I'll text you my feedback.
All right, cool. Thank
You're
you.
not on it anymore, so.
Oh, all right. All right, back to the action here, where I'm pretty sure that yeah, in and out turns .2. Full House has the hammer here in this fifth end. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This has turned into a fascinating game between two of our newer or fresher teams, as it were. As we see Zachary get set for his second stone. I'm going to be multitasking for the next minute, so bear in mind. So Zachary's second stone, I think it's not in play any longer. So Nancy's rock is going to, I think, try to draw around. Okay, so I think Zachary put up a guard or he drew deep. So that's a high guard. So looking for the takeout with Catherine's next rock. I believe it's her first. And it's going to trash on the guard, it looks like. Chips the guard, peels the guard. The shooter's going to roll wide away. All right, back to the action. Where in and out turns dislodged one of the yellow rocks in the rings. The score is currently 4-1 here in the fifth end, the second half of the game. And we see Russell, I think, just going to draw in, I believe. and it is a draw in. It looks like they're going to be sitting 2, partially buried. Well, one of the shots is buried. The other one is exposed. And so I think Trudeau is looking to, well, she was looking at maybe making a play and getting rid of both of those if possible, but looking to draw now, I believe, with Mike's next stone. Let's say draw weight. $12.53, so this should make contact with the rock in the rings. It does hit the top yellow and pushes that top yellow back. And it looks like that yellow might be shot. It is, like just right on the button on the lid. And so Stransky is sitting 2 now. And I think she wants to kind of lock it down and prevent Trudeau and in and out turns from getting to those precious shot rocks. I think that was takeout weight or close to it. So it just glances off of the red and then kind of pinballs between the 2 yellows out of play. So just a good effort there, and just kind of missed on the wrong side of the inch. So Stephanie and in and out turns is still in takeout mode. Looking for the right line as Raging gets set. Looking for, I think, control takeout weight. And if they get a little lucky, hit the yellow and then roll on top of the other yellow on the side. This might be on the guard though, or the front stone. And it is on the front stone. So the line was important in that shot. It does open things up a little bit, but Full House is sitting 2 right now. As we have the last of the third rocks coming from Okino, pardon me. And looking to put up a front stone or a guard. That decided to swing left once it kind of came close to the hog line. So Trudeau and Radin are looking over the situation. And Full House has a hammer. They're sitting 2 right now. So I think what they want to do is hit and roll towards the other shots. The other shot yellow. And that way they'd be sitting shot and be somewhat buried. And this is I think this is Stephanie's first shot without the hammer here in this 5th end. As she quickly gets set. And looks like she goes right down the line here. Line's looking pretty good. They want a little bit of a roll, so they want it to cross the face. It does cross the face, and it rolls right on top of the yellow on the left side. So that's pretty close to drawing it up perfectly and executing it perfectly. So now what does Michaela do? They went from sitting 2 to now facing 1, and that one shot's pretty well buried. So I think what they're trying to do is I think they're going to try and draw on top of that red on the right side from this view. As Michaela gets sets. And looking for the draw, I believe. Nancy is sweeping the dickens out of that rock. I think especially for weights, more than line, especially as Russell comes out to help. It looks like this is going to be a little short, but where is it going to end up? It's going to hit the brakes just in front of the house. So, let's see, the line was decent. So, I think what Stephanie could do here is draw around and then really make it super hard for Michaela to score a single point here. As the broom is down, looking for at least 4 feet of curl. Talking about the shot. And Trudeau is sets. And her last rock is away, looking for a front stone, kind of close to the middle or just outside the middle. They don't want it to go deep. That's the miss, is to go too deep. And this is going to go a little too deep. It's going to go through the rings out of play. So now Stransky has a draw for 1. So just an unfortunate miss there. Chance to really turn up the pressure on Michaela and Full House. And now Michaela has to make the draw, though. It's not going to be, it's not a gimme. As Stransky gets sets. Last rock, the hammer, coming for Full House here in the 5th end. A little bit of weight as Nancy swept the last rock from post to post, and this one she's just walking it down, not laying a brush on it. This could be a little heavier than they wanted. Oh no! And Stephanie just fell down. She got up, so but she went sideways. So yeah. Oh my goodness. So that yellow rock, I think, went out of place. It's going to be 1 red. And Stephanie is up. And one of our ice officials is going to check on her. Seems to be okay. But it looked like she went sideways, which is not the way you want to fall on the ice. So that's a steal of 1 for in and out turns. Full House has a hammer in this 6th end, coming home here in the 6th out of 8 possible ends of play. Although they will be ringing the bell in What, 3 minutes? Sorry. When are we ringing the bell?
Oh, I have a timer going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, 3 minutes?
Yes, I have 3 minutes left.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just, no, I was talking about how many ends are left in the game, so I wanted to make sure.
We rang it because it started at 5.
Right.
So at
I just like the way you
6:35.
said it. It was like, we're gonna ring the bell.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, I was tagging people.
All right. So this, they could get 8 ends. No, they should get 7 ends. So this is the 6th end right now. So we ring the bell after 95 minutes of play, basically. And that means that the teams can finish the end they're playing and play one more if they want to. So in and out turns, draws into the rings. Nancy is going to, I think, put up a guard, I would believe. But let's see what happens. That's going to slip into the rings. Looks like it's in front of the stone that Zachary just put up. So while that rock is, well, this next shot is being discussed, I just wanted to let you know that this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg. You guys know curling.gg. They just launched a new beta feature that lets you upload photos and recreate real curling scenarios. Check it out and give it a try at curling.gg. So looking for a takeout with Zachary's next rock. Runs the yellow under the red, and the yellow is going to go to the back 12 foot, while the red that was in the house went sayonara, which is a foreign language for goodbye. So down for full house needs to get points on the board to pull out the win. So they called for a hit, and depending on where this rock goes, I don't know if it really matches the goal of trying to get rocks in play. Especially, this is hanging out, and this is going to go through the rings, missing everything, unfortunately. So going around the rings here in our 5 o'clock draw, all the dams are still on the ice. All the games are fairly close, actually. As we have on sheet 1, the Vegas Winers from Curl Vegas and Wine Country are up 3-2 over Coyote Wild from Coyotes. Sheet 2 features Sandstorm Sweepers up 3-1 from Curl Vegas up over Bushkoff from Milwaukee. And sheet 3 is our featured game. You guys are watching it right now. At least I hope you are. For the people that are watching, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Much thanks. We're here for you guys. And also to help showcase the curlers in our region. And hopefully we checked all those boxes. So they're still talking about the shots.
If you come out really weird, just hold on to the stone. Don't hurt yourself. Okay.
So they're looking at maybe drawing to the back
A little bit heavier than
for Catherine's first rock. So that's sheet 3. Full house is down 4-1 over from in and out turns. My apologies. In and out hills from OC Curling and Wine Country. Full house from LTEC and Wine Country. So I thought they looked for a draw. This is looking for actually like a soft takeout, I believe. They're working to push it over, and it's trying to make some contact, and it looks like it's just enough to push that yellow to the back 12 foot onto the very edge of the house while the shooter sticks around in the back 12 foot. Last game on the ice. This is the one that's, well, this is the one that's the most lopsided for now. Rice from Coyotes is up 8-2 over defending champion Orange Coyote from Coyotes in Orange County Curling. And I said I was trying to do the well because since we started talking, a Sandstorm Sweeper has put up a 3 spot in the 5th end to take a 6-1 lead over Bushkoff from Milwaukee. All those scores are being posted to bonspieler.com. That rock started going sideways, but did make contact with the red. Interesting. So they're set up for a draw with Nielsen's last here. Going a little wide, but the broom was on the edge of the 12 foot. Coming back pretty nicely. So I think they wanted to try to sit another one. This might turn into a front stone. The time was 1580 roughly. And that is going to be a front stone, protecting the third shot in the back of the house, I believe. I think they wanted it to be a little further into the rings as opposed to a mid-guard. So we have Russell Okino with his first rock of this end, I believe. Looking to, I think, tap the yellow. And it looks like we're going to see the tap. It taps the yellow onto the red, pushes the red to the back 8 foot, and then the yellow shooter rolls wide to the back of the playing surface without scoring, or without being in the house to score. So looking for a takeout, just based on the fling of Trudeau's broom. As Mike gets set in the hatch. Looking for a hit. They don't want to jam on the reds on the back, and I don't think they are. Oh, they just barely kiss the yellow with enough force to push to the back 8 foot, which it worked out for them. As it appears that, excuse me, it appears that In and Out Turns is sitting 2 now, as Russell's next rock is away. Looking for some takeout magic of its own. This is going to make contact and push the red onto red, and the yellow shooter is going to roll to the back 12 foot. So one of the reds goes away. In and Out Turns is now seeing just 1 exposed, and so I think Trudeau's either going to try to put another one in on the left from this view, or maybe put up a front stone, or you also could draw down to the yellow on the back left. Looking for the front stone though. I think it needs to be shot or counting at least for Mite's second stone. As we see Mike's shot head down the ice. And this is looking not too bad. I think they wanted it counting, but I don't think it's going to get into counting position. It got close though. They needed, I think, to jump on it a little earlier than they did. So there is one red that's counting, but there's a couple other reds that could be brought into scoring position. Conversely, if Full House is able to tap that red out, they could be sitting at 2. And I think that's the call. This one's going wide. I don't know if he had the right turn or if it picked. Let's check the replay real quick. As that rock did not go anywhere near where I think Michaela wanted it. This one's going wide. I don't know if he had the right turn or if it picked. Let's check the replay real quick. As that rock did not go anywhere near where I think Michaela wanted it. So just before we started the replay, I think Michaela was indicating that he pushed it wide. So I think that was what happened there. So now it is in and out turn sitting 1. And looks like they want to put up a guard. If they do put up the guard there, then the Full House, depending on how effective the guard is, Full House might have a chance to hit and sit for 2. As we have the broom down for in and out turns. Looks like Catherine's taking a breather. Hope she's doing okay. Going for a guard. This is going to go. I think they want to be sitting at second shot. I don't. And it looks like they are close to second shot. Just looking at the rings in person, I think they're sitting 2 for in and out turns. But the rock is close enough to that shot stone that Michaela and Full House are looking at the double. So the broom is down, and I think they're going to go for the double to have a chance to get 2 and to stay in this game because they're down 5-1. So it's a 4-point game right now. So it's not insurmountable, but they need 2 here, and if they're playing one more end after this, then they would need to steal 2 in the last end. So this is for 2 to really have a chance to stay alive. as Michaela talks over the shot with Nancy. This is the last shot coming from Stransky. Looking for the double, 4-2. This looks like it's out wide, so they might get one of the yellow, one of the reds moving. So it's a one rock. Oh wait, that was the first of the stipstones. Each team has one more stipstone to go. I thought it was over. Oh my goodness, I apologize for the false suspense.
Yeah, so if you want to go for it. We can tell you where we're going. Yeah. That actually works.
So, I thought they were done. Oh my goodness. So, it's hard to say which is shot stone right now.
Our deepest condolences. It's okay.
But I think they could also try to draw through the port. They took a look at it. No obvious indication of who shot. They could also tap that red up. They could try to draw around.
That's good enough.
And Stephanie makes her way down the ice. And I think they're going to go for the. I think they're going to try and draw through the port. That's my guess. Plan B is to maybe tap the red up, the 2 inches necessary to make sure that it's shot rock, and maybe split in for a second point. Or this could be a guard. $14.06, so it's not guard weight necessarily, although it's slowing down. So that is a guard. So they might be confident that that red is shot. We haven't had a measure yet this event. So Mateo is taking a look to see who shot. It's going to be interesting to see if both teams have different ideas of which team is shot. It's one of the interesting quirks of the game is that they don't do a measure on the distance of rocks in the rings until the very end of the end. So I think they have a draw. I don't think they have a double. So I don't think they can effectively. So I don't know if they can effectively dislodge that red that might be shot in the top 8 foot.
I listen to the podcast, so.
They could try to hit and roll. That might be something that Michaela's looking at, hitting the red that's to the left of the center and rolling back to the right for the rock that's there, and get 2 that way. They are really thinking about it there.
And we had a concert in France, just like a music concert. He's out there doing his thing.
So they are looking for the in-off, and that would be possibly for 2. Well, it would be for 2 if they make it. So hit the inside of the stone that's to the right of Michaela, or right in front of Michaela, and then roll back to the left on top of the red that's in the 8 foot. Challenging shot, but this would be 4-2 to stay alive here in this game.
What do we need to do? Yeah, we're going to take
trying to think of other other ways to make this shot. I think that's the best odds of success too, because they would hit the red on the left or on the right from this view from Michaela, this face-on view. The risk of jamming is lower, and if you jam, the shot wasn't there to begin with, and you know it's probably fairly close to game over. But they're working to line up this shot. This is the 6th end. The broom is down, and they're not going to do the in off. Mike's talking to his opposing vice. Not quite sure what he's saying, but Michaela's talking over the shot with Nancy. So I don't quite know what the shot is. I like the in off because that seemed to have the best odds of success for 2. But like I often say, I'm not on the ice. They might see something that I'm not seeing, and that happens way more often than I'd like to admit, but it happens. So the broom is down. It looks like they're drawing, perhaps. This is over curling. I'm curious about that shot call, as that's going to go into the back to the 12-foot, not really counting. And that's handshakes right there. So I don't know if it's a single point or it's 1 point one way or the other, but it's going to be game over for this game. So I guess we'll see what they mark as the score, but we did see full house concede to in and out turns. So looking at the standings for the cards pool, in and out is at 2-0, and full house is at 0-2. And then looks like Rice has their first win, I believe. And they are going to do draw shot. No, Rice is 2-0. They did defeat Orange Coyote, and then Orange Coyote is 1-1. And then the other team that is out there is Clever Curl, and they are 0-2 right now. So pretty topsy-turvy pool for that category. And as we play more into Saturday's quadruple header, we'll have more detail as we are seeing the skip stones, the draw shot challenge, to see which team can get close to the center of the house. It is as used as a tiebreaker because we might need a tiebreaker for some of these pools. So this is floating out. It needs to sit down, and it's not going to. Oh. That's went all the way through the house. Aside from a little rubber baby buggy bumper action from Mike. So Stransky has the broom down for Nancy. Nancy's going to throw the out-turn counterclockwise rotation.
Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, by the way, I went to go down and show you what it picked on. It's just a little piece of that.
So looking to draw the very center of the house with her shot.
And
It really, it really,
they said it was the same. It was the same outcome.
Looking for the button.
cover the pin.
Weight looks okay. Could be a little light. 1407. Actually, the weight's pretty close. And so Russell's sweeping to make sure it gets all the way there, and it gets to the almost the top 8 foot. So it's just a little light. So the ice is a little slower than it was before the scrape, which kind of happens. Ice kind of takes a little bit to get to speed, and then once it's at speed, it stays that way for a while until the pebble starts to break down. So that's kind of where we're at as they do the final measurements. Going around the rings one more time before we sign off for this draw. So games are still in progress. You can check out the Bonspieler page for the links to the video. Sheet 1, Vegas Winers are up 1.43 over Coyote Wild. Sheet 2, Sandstorm Sweepers from Turtle Vegas is up 6-4 over Bushkoff from Milwaukee. After teams traded 3 points each in the 5th and 6th ends. That's crazy. Sheet 3, the feature, the final is going to be 6-1 after In and Out Turn stole the 6th end. And then the other game that concluded was Team Rice, the 12-2 winner over Orange Coyote. So that is the latest action. So we're trying to sign off for this draw, but we're going to be back at 8 p.m. Pacific for our MoPac After Dark game, where I pretend like I'm a Three Stooge and go like woo 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 for the entire time. I won't do that. I've been told it's annoying. And I said, thank you, Mom. So before we sign off, just again, thanks to our sponsors, including doubletakeout.com, offering a unique way to view the top men's and women's and mixed doubles teams from around the world, doubletakeout.com, and by curling.gg, a proud sponsor of Canada's mixed doubles team, Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman, and by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So as we sign off, just again, thanks to our sponsors, and on behalf of all of us here at MoPac and Curl Vegas, this has been your host, Ryan Olson, saying good evening and good curling. We'll see you at MoPac After Dark at 8 p.m.